very disrespectful on both parts. You know, we both were going at each other. You come that way with me, you're gonna get what you came for. You know what I mean? I'm not above it all.
Welcome back to Access.
You not above it all, honey miss. I fly above all the drama. I fly above. Okay, I love that song, honey. Okay, I love it. But I'm shocked that Miss Kandi Burris Tucker is admitting that she is wrong, honey. Y'all know Kandi is the queen of being stubborn and stoic, honey, all at the same time. What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back with a Real Housewives of Atlanta extra, honey. I'm going to play some audio, you guys, to get Kandi's side of the story. She recently did an interview where she discussed the fight with Marlo, right? Her and her husband, honey, they got beat up verbally, honey, by Miss Marlo Hampton, honey, okay? Then I'm gonna play some audio from Marlo discussing, you know, her side to the whole Kandi argument, honey, and, you know, just how she feel about Kandi this season. And then we're gonna get some audio, honey, from Mr. Carlos King. He had a guest on his show, and they talked about the reunion seating. A lot of people are up in arms that Kandi was not near Andy. Why would she be close to Andy? She didn't have no storyline. Terrell didn't have no storyline. Sheree was serving a storyline, and Marlo was carrying the damn show like she's a damn quarterback. Okay, so like that makes sense to me. I didn't understand Drew and Sonya being right next to each other because, you know, we know they don't see it for each other. Okay, so I would have thought that they would have been on, you know, opposite sides, but honey, who am I? I don't know what Andy was thinking. But anyways, you guys, without further ado, I'm gonna play that audio, and Miss Robinson, honey, will be in and out with her commentary.
Housewives nightcap. Guys, I know we say this week after week that we're like, oh, we have a special treat for you, but really we do this week.
I got to head down to and sit down with one of our favorite peaches from Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kandi.
But before we get
So you have like a million ventures going on at one time, all the time. What is new in Kandi world?
Oh my gosh. New in Kandi world. Okay, I guess the newest thing is that my husband Todd and myself, we are producers on the piano lesson that is coming to Broadway next month, actually, September, starring Samuel L. Jackson and Danielle Brooks and John David Washington. I'm so excited about that. You just do not understand. So that's one of the most exciting things that I'm like really looking forward to right now. And then right now, currently, I'm filming a reality show with my group Escape and SWV for Bravo.
Okay.
So it's
Yes, I cannot wait. And I'm more excited about SWV, you guys, because I love them more as a group than Escape. Y'all know Coco is my girl, honey, okay?
Working title, or can you say it? Or like a
no, they haven't told me what the title is going to be yet. But
what's the tea? Like, what's it about?
it's, you know, trying to get my group Escape and SWV together to do this performance together, but trying to get my group on the same page to even get to the point of getting this show together is just been crazy.
I know. I feel like in watching you for so many years, you're always kind of like trying to get, like, everyone's always like, you're like the one keeping everything in order. You know what I mean?
You know, I think it's kind of different when you're in a music group, though. You know, I think for me, you know, people see me in the circle of the Real Housewives, and you know what that is like. But with my group, it's like we grew up together. You know, we started out as a group when I was only 14 years old. And so I feel I have a different passion for my group members, and they can get to me in a different way. So it's different.
that's only known in Atlanta.
You know that ain't
Why is you so mad, Kandi? Did y'all hear that?
Okay, the reunion's coming. You guys haven't shot it yet. What is there someone in particular that you are looking forward to hashing it out with?
I never look forward to hashing it out with any of them, to be clear.
Girl, bye. Because when Nene was on there, you couldn't wait to come for her and Twirl. I'm glad Marlo is giving y'all ass the business, honey. This is the payback, honey, that Miss Leaks couldn't give you, okay?
I always hate reunions. I always say that if people may or may not listen to me, but for years, it makes my stomach turn whenever I go into a reunion because I hate arguing with people, and I always know that it's going to be just a complete just back and forth, you know. And this year, especially because there was a lot of people that were just coming for my neck, and I didn't realize it. I mean, I had to watch it back on television to find out, like, so many people on the show, they had a lot of things to say that I didn't know that was happening when I was, you know, when I was standing around. They weren't really saying some of those things, so obviously that's got to be addressed, right?
Yeah.
So
you got to do it. Well, I think you wear the dominatrix outfit again. Because even though you don't like the reunions, you always kill it with the looks.
Thanks.
So, you know, that could be kind of fun.
Well, I can't do the same look twice. It's not going to work.
No, but that was amazing. You embrace a theme.
Oh, I love a theme. Yes,
you
for
do.
sure.
Yes, ma'am. So, would you ever go on a girls' trip, Kandi?
Yeah, for sure.
You would?
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
I don't know, because I do feel you're at like a level and you work a lot. You have a lot of jobs. You're already on Atlanta. Maybe, you know, you're kind of like, I don't need to do that, you know?
You mean like
Charles, she just ain't willing to do that with Phaedra Parks, honey, okay?
with my friends?
No, on like a real, like girls' trip.
Oh, no.
Yeah. See what I was right.
I don't really think that's for me. And I mean, it's not that I think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, I just feel like the people who I would have probably saw myself being on the girls' trip with probably have already done it.
Yeah.
You know, like Cynthia or Kenya, you know.
I know.
You know, people that I would have probably felt comfortable.
Well, it ain't all about your comfort, okay, Miss Taurus. Okay, she is such a Taurus, honey.
You would have already gone if you
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, the next episode looks like you might have gotten a little upset. I don't know what happened at the table. What goes down at that table that you are like, don't play with me?
Oh, it's terrible.
Is it?
Yeah, it's bad.
No.
The argument went way out of hand between Marlo and I. It's very disrespectful. I really don't know how they're going to edit it.
Why you didn't apologize to Marlo then? Like, why didn't you? Did Marlo apologize to Kandi? Yeah, I think she tried to, and Kandi was so upset, but Kandi, to me, you was just really wrong with that because you are telling Marlo how she should deal with her nephews. That is so controlling. Controlling behavior, you guys, like that is abusive. Telling somebody how to think, how they should feel, and you got to stay out of stuff. And then you do not throw people's vulnerabilities in their face. Marlo had a moment with you. She was being vulnerable. You took that shit, weaponized it, like. And I got a video, you guys, coming up on this. Like, we are really in this culture where people really get a hard on for trying to weaponize your vulnerabilities, throw the shit in your face. We wonder why people don't trust people no more. Everybody just is on the internet and, you know, everybody all aloof and to themselves. It's because of shit like that. Like, you should have stayed out of that. Well, the way you did your nephew. Well, bitch, you come take care of them and put up with them. I'd be damned if they breaking shit in my house. Y'all gotta go, okay? I don't care who kids you are, okay? Shit. Marlo gave their ass a little timeout, and nobody is sympathetic to that. You know, everybody kind of picks and chooses who they are sympathetic to on the show. So, it's disgusting.
Because there were a lot of B words and F bombs flown out.
It's just gonna go.
Yeah, that's it. Beep, 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 beep. That's what it's gonna be because it was very disrespectful on both parts. You know, we both were going at each other.
You hit a boiling point, though. I think in watching you this season.
For sure. I mean, I feel like, well, Marlo always says it. She feels like she can go below the belt with people. And I don't know why she feels like it's supposed to be acceptable coming from her because, oh, y'all know I always go below the belt, so I don't care.
Also, like, not something to be proud of, right?
Yeah, it's not something to be proud of.
Well, your husband shouldn't have jumped his ass into the conversation, and then he said, what did he say to Marlo? Well, these girls, they didn't even like you. Like, nigga, you work in production. You don't know who like who. You better be glad that you married a boss, okay? Because your ass would probably still be in production. I like you, Todd, but I'm going to need you to, stay like a tampon. Stay wrapped up, okay? And quiet, honey.
Or accept it. Like, and some people, and I think, people find it to be funny. I know Andy was like, I thought it was hilarious when you said, some people feel like, well, I have to stay above, and no, not me. If you come that way with me, you're going to get what you came for. You know what I mean? I'm not above it all.
People say be the better person.
Yeah, I'm not really the better person like that. No, that's, no.
I'm glad you're finally admitting to that, Kandi.
That is not me. Well, listen, I am so excited to see the rest of the season. I love watching you. You are, like I said, the queen of Atlanta. Yeah. And, I did want to ask you, though, because you are saying, like, you have taken a lot of hits this season. Yeah. And kind of, like you said, there's been a lot of things said about you that you didn't know happened. Mm-hmm. Would this make you reconsider coming back?
I mean, no.
Okay.
Think about all the things that have been said about me over 13 seasons. I've been on the show for 13 seasons. They have said so many things about me. It's just that I think the thing was, I came into this season, I was so excited about Marlo coming and finally getting her peach, because I don't know if you know, but I was like, for the longest thing, why did she not have a peach? Like, I was really rooting for her to get a peach. And then I was super excited about Sheree coming back. I was like, oh my gosh, Sheree's coming back, whatever. And then I see them on the show dogging me out. I'm like, I'm the main one that was excited for y'all.
Right. It kind of feels like a knife in the back a little bit. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so today, this is not a bad gig. You are going to be sitting down with Jamie Foxx and Dave Franco.
And watching a movie.
That sounds all nice and chummy, Kandi, but we got to move on. Let's get to what Marlo is saying, honey. Let's get back to the mess.
It's cool with him, but she definitely needs Jesus. I'm just done. It's a lot of deeper stuff. Watch the reunion. I'm going to let it out. I'm going to let it be known.
Welcome back to Housewives Nightcap. After so much talk about her from the other peaches, we are excited to welcome this peach for the first time. Welcome, Marlo.
Hi, ladies. Hi, Lauren and Emily.
Marlo, we have been waiting to have you on because, like Emily said, there's been talk. So now we need your side of the story, of the stories, because, like I said, there's a lot of talk. But first things first, you're finally a housewife. This is your first official season as a housewife. How has it been?
It feels amazing. I'm just so excited. Something that a lot of people don't know, just let me clarify that, because I know it's been a lot of talk, like, oh, she's so excited to get this peach. She's waited a decade. I was offered a peach before, and I didn't take it at the time. So let them just clear that she's so desperate for it. Because if I was so desperate, I would have accepted 10 years ago, okay? So I just want to be clear on all the people that are saying I'm so desperate for the peach. But it does feel amazing. I feel the timing wasn't right then, but it's amazing now. I'm loving it. I'm embracing it. I'm supporting it. And I'm feeling real peachy.
I love it. So, Marlo, we know that you're still super close with Nene. Has she given you any advice on this season, how to manage these ladies?
No, she hasn't at all. She has not given me any advice how to manage these ladies.
She's like, I'm staying out of that.
Yeah, like I just remember what she taught me along the way and what she told me about them.
There you go to sip the cocktail. You're like, a little tea and then sip the cocktail. Well, you just cleared the air about like the women calling you a little desperate. Now, Kandi, though, she said you got the peach and you started throwing it at people. And so what's your reaction to that?
This is my reaction to that. Let's be real. You know you're Marlo. You watch the show, correct?
Yes, of course we do. It's Housewives Nightcap. We love
Exactly. So
Housewives.
listen, you know I don't have the best delivery, right? I've never had it for 10 years, right?
And you admit that. You do admit that.
I don't. I admit, like, shit, I need to take like an etiquette class, how to deliver. Or maybe I should start hiring like an interpreter to be there with me. Like, I'm saying this, but can you say it better? My delivery is awful. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. But one thing I would say, you guys have to say, I have not changed. You see me more now, so you get more of it. I've never been shy. I've never been one to hold back what I'm thinking. So it's like, I'm so confused when people are saying, oh, she's getting the peaches. Girl, I say this, Kandi, you and I fussed for 10 years. Kenya, you and I fussed for 10 years. I'm over it. So it's not me changing. It's not getting the peach. It's just that you get to see me more. So what you see me more, you just see more of me not delivering the message as pretty as some want me to deliver it.
So going off of that, though, with Kandi, you said some things in the start of the season that she was not happy about. You called her a hoe.
First of all, Kandi was a damn hoe. She everybody for free. Yeah,
I'm sorry. That shit is funny. And Sheree was like, yeah. Child, I was like, why did Sheree just up and agree with that? Oh, child, you ain't getting no more invites, Sheree, to the Kandi Burris Tucker Christmas parties, honey.
The whole that pussy wasn't good, and that's why you always got to date underneath your tax bracket, okay? Preach. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I regret. I take back calling her a whore. What other name can I use for her? Not whore. Okay, let me just be clear with the Kandi thing as well. I'm gonna take my time and track and word all this better, okay? Right. So with Kandi, I've known Kandi Lauren longer than all the girls in our circle. I used to date her godbrother. So with Kandi, I don't feel like she's new. Like I can't say what I want to say to her. I feel like I can say whatever I'm thinking. We're a little more intimate and closer than these other girls. So I feel if I'm thinking something, I'm going to tell Kandi. I'm not going to hold it back. But now keep in mind, the other girls in the circle say, oh, I'm not going to say this to Kandi. I'm not going to do this. But look, Kandi, for 10 years, y'all talked about me dating an older white man.
Yep.
Where I get my money from. Kandi originally started that. I went on her show, Speak on It with Charles Grant, and her first thing was, where you get your money from?
It wasn't Speak on It at that time. Didn't she just kind of come out with Speak on It a few years back? It was Kandi Coded Nights. I used to like that show.
Who the hell asked that? But guess what? That's been an unfair fight ever since. Because when Kandi asks me that, everywhere I go, every interview, where do you get your money from? I feel that's disrespectful and distasteful.
Right.
Get back on the subject, back to the whore. How do I feel about that? I don't feel she's a whore. I just feel she's experienced.
Oh, I love Marlo. Ghetto ass. I love her. Can't take her nowhere.
Okay, what about the tax bracket comment? Because I don't know if you saw Todd. He made like a little remark about it on Watch What Happens Live.
Listen, I love Todd to pieces. Todd and I, we can hang, we can go out and drink. I hate that Todd always gets in the middle of our stuff. When I'm mad at her, I gotta state facts. But I love Todd to death. He's always been super amazing. We've just connected. We have a connection like no other. And I think Todd gets me more than Kandi. But as in tax bracket, I totally feel she does stay under her tax bracket. That's just being honest. And other people feel that, but they don't want to say it.
That's right.
I feel Kandi loves to be in control.
Yeah, and a lot of women are like Kandi where they feel safer when they make most of the money. So, yeah, I felt like that was a great insult, okay? Even though I'm a fan of Kandi and Todd's relationship, you know, it was pretty good.
What's wrong with that? A lot of us women are making more money than our men. And we do have women who want to be in control. Shit, I'm one of them. I like to be in control. I'm just not going to date under my tax bracket. That's just not me. Unless he just puts a spell over me.
I've never even heard this. Like, date under your tax bracket.
I'm just saying, it's the things I say, you guys, you have to say. When you hang out with me now, you have to say, damn, that is true. But maybe she could have said this word instead. It's just
Don't apologize, Marlo. Kenya don't apologize for her reckless behavior. The rest of these people, they don't apologize. So, girl. Keep doing you. Okay?
And I realized, damn, should I come on here and lie? Do I need to lie? Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I love Kandi. She's such a hard worker. She's an entrepreneur. She's everything. She's so sweet, has a great husband. I can give you that. She is that. But come on, let's tell the truth. What would Wendy Williams say? Will Wendy Williams tell the truth? You had said truth, right?
So, have you ever dated under your tax bracket?
Have I ever? Yes. Definitely in high school, middle school, yes. They got less allowances.
Come on, Marlo.
Okay.
Now let's clear this up. It's not like I go and say, hey, what do you make?
Right.
I look like money, so I attract money. I don't attract broke. I don't. I just think a broke man would be intimidated to talk to me.
So that's how we find them, Lauren. We need to start looking like money. This is what we need to do. We need to elevate.
You look like money, you attract money.
That's
Oh
right.
my God. Okay, so we gotta ask about Kenya. What?
Oh, wait, Marlo, what was that?
I say Tylenol, please.
How do you feel about Kenya right now? Is there a world where you want you and her to be cool, to make peace?
You know what? Forget Kenya. Kenya is not for me. Like, I'm not coming out here dressing as you, sending you invites, and I see that you're the same person. And if you really want to keep it 100, last year at the reunion, you guys don't remember I had told Andy? He said, so do you trust Kenya? And what did I tell him? No, I don't trust her. I'm trying to get to know her, but I don't trust her because she's so good with her words. She so knows how to sit here and say, she's such an evil person. She's such a bad. But tell what you did.
Right.
Did you ever celebrate me or tell me, Marlo, congratulations. You finally got that peach, sis. Did you ever say, oh my God, I'm so proud of you at La Archive? No, you came to La Archive to beat all the other girls to critique it. And you ran right away. I was like, oh, she spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
You're not a friend. You're not a true, authentic, sincere friend.
Right, but she expect you to be that way with her. And Kenya, I noticed her little strategy. Like I told y'all, when she first came on Housewives, she was trying to be up Nene's butt. And then when she realized she didn't need to be, she ran over there with Cynthia and then formed a little alliance with Cynthia and Kandi. When she needed Marlo to get under, and you can't tell me no different. Don't y'all get y'all ass in them comments saying something else, because that ain't what I saw. I saw Kenya trying to be real cool with Marlo when Nene was cool with her. But see, it was when Kenya and Nene wasn't, at their best. So she used Marlo, right? But what Kenya does is she hits below the belt on this show all the time. But what she tries to do is play this perpetual victim. So if Nene says something to her, oh, I'll never forgive it, we can't move on. Marlo says, oh, you the comment about my mom. And Marlo was like, your mom, okay, your mom. That moment was crazy as hell because wasn't nobody expecting that shit. But shit, Kenya do act like her damn mother, if you ask me. She treat everybody, with this nasty dismissiveness. She even treated Drew like that when she first came on here. But yes, Kenya uses people. Nobody calls it out because all of you guys are up her ass and everybody agrees with every little thing she says and does. And I'm not here for it. I do not like commentary like that. As soon as I hear that shit, I turn that shit off. Get out of here with all this biased commentary, honey. I ain't got time for it.
I'm sorry, you're just not.
I feel like you both are saying the same things about each other. So maybe it's just like, it's just not a connection with you two.
It's not. It's definitely not, and I'm okay with it. I pray for her because she just needs Jesus. She say that she's cool with him, but she definitely needs Jesus. I'm just done. I feel that we're both two strong personalities.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of deeper stuff. Watch the reunion. I'm going to let it out. I'm going to let it be known.
Okay.
what it is, but it's even more. But as of now, you got why it is what it is. I mean, the gloves are off.
Marlo, don't try to be cool with Kenya no more. Like on the show, stop trying to talk to her. Okay, hopefully they phase her ass out. She could go. We can get somebody new up in here with a real storyline. Yes.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going not up against, but like also Kandi and Kenya both said watch the reunion, like the gloves are coming off when it comes to you, and now you're saying the same thing.
Oh no, I've been in the gym. I've been eating my wings.
I'm ready. You're ready. And we saw Kenya kind of criticize you about your nephews and
Kenya should have stayed out of that.
What you were going through with them and deciding to have them live with your sister. How have you kind of take that criticism from her and other people online? Because some people have said, like, what's going on with that?
You know what, Lauren and Emily? People have been awful with it.
Yeah.
Marlo Hampton, who you've known for 10 years, right? Single, fabulous, over the top, extra sis, whatever. Just auntie. Call, you get a gift, you get school clothes, you get presents. I get a phone call 3 years ago. Auntie, we need you to come pick us up. I'm in a boot. I just had bunion surgery. I'm like, okay, gotta pick him up. I tell my assistant, hey, let's go pick up my nephews. I'm not even supposed to be out of the bed. I thought the pickup was like pickup for the weekend. I didn't know pickup forever. Your life has changed. So if it took me 3 years to have that breaking point, to have a moment like, hey, something I'm doing is not right. Something, I just needed a reset, a recharge. I needed to sit and talk to other parents. I need therapy. I don't know what's going on right now. Because I just jumped in like, I got this. I can do it. And after 3 years, I need a break. And I need to call my little sister, who's a mother of 4 young boys that lives with her fiance, who's a male, that these boys I know will be safe and protected. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Because guess what? I needed that time for me. I needed a reset. I really needed to talk to other girlfriends who had children. I needed to do what I did, went and see a therapist. I hired a life coach. I needed a moment. I was at a breaking point. So do I just break and be like, oh, get out, go to foster care? Or do I break and say, okay, I'm not sending the foster care?
Exactly. That's what I said, Marlo. You didn't just put them in the damn system. Like, y'all act like she did. Well, that's so wrong. No. She's human.
Sis, I need you for a minute. I think I went so fast these 3 years. I don't know what the hell I'm doing now. They're not listening to me. They're getting really spoiled. They're being too privileged. I need a break right now. I need a moment to just figure this out.
Right.
And guess what? Everyone's taking it right. Oh, she kicked them out. So it was just really, it was just bad. I can see how bad they went online if I had them go to foster care. Like, oh, you just get out of here. Because I called my little sister, and keep in mind now, they're at my sister's. I'm calling as teachers every day still. I'm checking on their homework still. I'm paying for them to get back and forth to school still. I'm like, Crystal, don't tell them I'm calling. Are they asking about me? I was so upset because William wasn't thinking about me. He was on Roblox all day. He wasn't doing his homework. So it was like they wasn't here, but I was still stressing and worried about them.
Right.
So for everyone who's saying all that negative stuff, screw them. Because no one talked about the 3 years how hard I went. The 3 years, I didn't hesitate when my sister Emily or Lauren called and said, hey, I need you to get my kids. I was like, I'm there right then and there. Didn't know what the hell I was getting into. Didn't know this is permanent.
Right.
I feel I've done a damn good job. And I thank God for that break, because that break has helped us. We're doing great.
Yeah.
We're along better. We're communicating better. The 3 of us see the life coach together. We're at an amazing place in our household.
Come on, Marlo. I'm rooting for Marlo. Shout out to Marlo for helping out with her sister's kids. Because a lot of people, they talking a lot of bullshiggity, and they ass probably wouldn't even help. And that's your prerogative. You don't have to help with somebody else's kids. It's not your life. It's not your problem. Can we take it back to that? But y'all can't bully people into doing things the way that you would do it, Kandi and Kenya, okay? And Kenya want to go back into her damn childhood and, oh, I remember when they were about to send me away and, girl. But as soon as Marlo had that same notion at that table of being a foster child, y'all came down hard on her. She ain't supposed to have no feelings or emotions, and she ain't supposed to tell Ralph, how she feel about stuff. And then we saw Kenya come down on Ralph, but because of his behavior towards Drew, because of how Mark did Kenya. Kenya do the same shit, and y'all just let that shit slide. Nobody says anything. Ciao, bye.
So the kids are back because we saw that you had a horrible experience recently. You were burglarized. How are you feeling after that? It sounded like it was really traumatic.
Oh, no, was it? William was literally right here on this couch, and my door is over there. So my youngest nephew was definitely right here on the couch, and people thought that we were still in Houston celebrating Michael's 15th birthday. Because I posted when I landed that I was here, still in Houston. But we were back home. And 2.5 hours after we got home, my door was kicked in. So it was bad. It's still bad. I haven't slept since. So I take cat naps, and it's just the point of someone to come into your home and violate it. And
right.
Horrible.
My emotions go back and forth because it's like, am I protecting the boys? Did I protect them? And just to know that you have that much disrespect and just don't care to kick in a door.
Have you reached out to Dorit or any of the other housewives that have had this experience? Because it does seem like, being on a show, it seems like sometimes these people target it.
Oh, that's right. Dorit was robbed. Yeah, that's right.
People. I don't know.
Marlo don't talk to them white girls like that, y'all. Okay.
You, the love that I've gotten from other women on the show, other women in the entertainment business that have reached out and told me the same group of people burglarized their homes, from entertainers, from one of the young ladies married to the medicine. She reached out to me. Lil Yachty's mom reached out to me. It was so many women shared that they had the same experience. And it was from the same group of people. So it was just super sad. If I name some of the names, they don't want to talk about it. And I don't know why. It's crazy. I even told the girls when it first happened, I sent them a text like, hey, I can't give you all the details because it's under investigation, but be careful what you post when you're posting.
Yeah, that's important.
It's going to take time.
And what did Kenya do? She tried to assassinate Marlo's character again. Well, you could have set us up to be robbed. And that shit really pissed me off. And that's how I knew, Kenya is playing low. Okay? Kenya is on some first floor shit. Because you gotta put your beef to the side that you have with Marlo and have, some care for her and her nephews. Like, they could have been murdered. Like that shit is violating, So for Kenya to, come like that, I'm so glad. Who baby mama was that? Future's baby mama, honey. I'm so glad she checked her motherfucking ass. Twirl didn't have shit else to say. I know you Twirl fans, y'all don't like that, but when you wrong, okay?
It's still so scary. And I'm glad that the ladies on Real Housewives of Atlanta, they were supportive.
No, not that many. I mean, one or two of them sent the text, but we had Cynthia Bailey, Sanya, Drew, they picked up the phone and they called me. Because I just feel
shout out to them for doing that.
No matter what, we've been friends over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
If Kenya ever would have texted something like that, Marlo never called.
Right.
Calling, I was sending somebody from a security. I was doing whatever I can do to help. I would have probably just sent the cash app, like, hey, this is just to help. I was calling. That was not a text. And these girls are so mad at me. My nephews and I got the door kicked in. They couldn't even call. They just hearted the message and, oh, I'm glad you're okay. And Kandi was like, oh, this has happened. She told Kenya this has happened on the text to several people.
You don't say stuff like
but they
like
just
that.
haven't said anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So with me, I'm just different. I realize I have to love people and I have to accept them for who they are. But with me, any of them, it happens to it's a phone call, and that's just
Right.
It's a phone call and it's showing up and it's showing out. It's not a text. I'm glad you're okay. Like, I'm not okay. I don't even sleep at night. I'm still crying. I'm nervous. When Michael goes out the door, I hear the beep, who's that? What's that door? I'm yelling in the middle of the night. So it's like I'm not okay. And like my therapist said, I'm not going to be okay for a while, but I will get there.
Yeah. Well, listen, Marlo, we loved catching up with you. We are happy you're healthy and safe. And we are so excited for the reunion and that you got your speech this season.
I have a question. Whose side are you on at this fight, at this reunion?
I'm Switzerland. I am Switzerland.
We can't take
Switzerland?
you know why we can't take sides? Because then our YouTube viewers call us out because they'll say, "Oh, you took a side, and then you're having that person on," and they get mad at us. So we have to.
Just text me when you hang up whose side. I know it's my side.
I will say I'm glad.
I love Mark. I'm starting to like Mark. I know some of y'all rolling your eyes, sucking your damn teeth, but I am loving this side of Marlo. I think she's always had this in her.
After this conversation, I understand you more.
Right.
Same.
Yes.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
I do have more compassion for your situation.
Yes.
It's a lot.
1,000%, and I think everyone else will. So
Yeah, because one thing about it, it's my delivery, and that's what I'm working on.
Good.
It's not letting someone else control me and get me so upset.
Okay, so they go get ready, honey. Carlos and this lady, they go get ready to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. And I think the lady is going to say something about Kandi, and this is her last season. I hope, honey, okay? Because they don't need Kandi no more. Really don't need Kenya either. We need people with storylines. Does anybody have a new storyline, okay?
The reunion that taped recently, and there's been a lot of chatter on social media about the seating assignment. And I got some exclusive tea based on, allegedly, who was sitting next to Andy. And I need for you and I to dissect why this seating arrangement happened the way it did. So let me ask you this. Do you know anything about this seating arrangement that's been the talk of social media?
No, so bring it to me, and I think I will have a great opinion based on what you're bringing to me. I'm going into this completely open.
Yes. Take a guess who you think, based on what we've seen so far this season, who should be sitting next to Andy?
Well, I would like to see Sheree and Kenya, but I feel like he has a soft spot for Kandi. So I'm going to say she most likely occupies one of those seats, but I think it should be Sheree and Kenya.
So here's the exclusive news that allegedly has taken place. You're right in terms of Sheree is sitting next to Andy.
Rightfully so. Sheree actually had a storyline, okay? And if she over there dating Hotel Hope, that's even more of a storyline for next season. Kenya had no storyline. She was purposely difficult because she didn't have one, you guys. I know. Y'all rolling them eyes, sucking them damn teeth. Getting all the phlegm out your throat. I know you upset. You bothered, honey, okay?
And so is Marlo.
Well, I feel like that's maybe because they're either rewarding her for bringing it, but it also could make sense to me if I knew who she's sitting with on the other side of the couch. Because sometimes I feel like it's strategic seating because they know it's going to create conversations and chaos within the filming that will make for great television. So who is she sitting next to?
Allegedly, next to Marlo is Drew and Sonya.
Oh, okay.
And next to Sheree is Kenya and Kandi.
Wow, Kandi, good night. This is your last season, sorry.
Oh?
I mean, right?
So tell me why you think it's Kandi's last season, Kate.
I think that's probably, I think they, listen, it's no disrespect to the individual cast member, but there comes a point where I think the audience and the producers and the network say to themselves, the story has been told. And I think she's been on many seasons. I think she's been incredibly valuable. But I think her story, we know it already. And I think we need to give space for someone else to switch it up. And I also think she should be at a point, if I'm her agent, I'm like, I think that we've done enough here, right? And there's so many opportunities that she can get beyond the show and deserves to have beyond the show. I think that there's a point where you got to close the chapter. I just watched the docuseries on Derek Jeter. He should have retired after his 3,000th hit, but he wanted to keep playing, and then he got injured, and then the team's pissed off because he got injured and he can't add any value. You got to know when to quit. Jerry Seinfeld quit at the top. I think she should walk away. She's done a great job on the show, and she has so much in her back pocket. She's going to be even more successful after that. So I'm her agent. I say I'm gone. I think that if you're at the end of the couch and you've been on for many, many seasons, that's probably a sign that they want to switch the show up. Have you ever seen Tamara on the end of the couch? No.
Never.
And as you brilliantly brought up in one of your first episodes, everybody has to be a force multiplier. And I don't know if she did enough of that this season.
Okay, Casey!
Well, you and I are always looking through a completely different lens than other people, because we're always thinking about, like, how much story is going on? Like, what are we learning about all the characters? Like, is there enough there that their lives are overlapping? And I think that they need to switch it up. I have to say, I've loved Sonia. I love her story. I love this beautiful couple. First of all, both are incredibly successful. Like, I want to hang out with them. I want to go to a dinner party with them. I feel like they're on the cusp of really creating some incredible businesses. But I think that the conversation that he has with her all the time about wanting another child is really valuable to the housewives spectrum. That is a completely relatable topic that so many people can relate to. And I think the problem is that sometimes when you have these different franchises and the same people have been on forever and ever and ever, you don't really have relatable storylines unless that audience is aging with you. And there is an audience that's aging with the show, but there also, I find there are a lot of college kids. There are a lot of people in their like 20s now who watch the show who are fresh to the show. And that's what the network wants. You want fresh eyeballs, right? You got to keep that show fresh. So if you only have cast members who talk about like stepchildren and children and going to college, which by the way are completely important conversations, but if everyone's conversation is about having older children, you're not going to keep the interest of the younger audience. So they have to have someone new and fresh who has relatable content. That said, I've really enjoyed the way that Kandi and Todd have talked about the realities of co-parenting, having older children, the conversations about what to do with wealth. I think those are all much better conversations than other franchises. I just had Dr. Raquel Gates on my show today. She's a TV professor. And we both agree that Atlanta does a far better job of tackling the issue of mothering than any other Real Housewives franchise. So that said, I love them all, but I think you have to know when you got to go. And I think Kandi, if I were an agent, I'd say, I think I've done enough and I'm going to walk away now.
This is fascinating that we get to talk about this, because what you said to me, I never looked at until you compared Kandi's position on the Real Housewives of Atlanta to Derek Jeter, but also most recently Serena Williams retiring.
And what did Serena say? She's like, I feel like I'm being pushed into another direction. She's at peace with her career because she sees herself move into a second chapter confidently. And I think that that's the best housewives position, is when you can walk away with confidence, that you know that you can shed that first chapter, move into your second chapter, and feel good about it. Most women don't do that. I think that she should do it.
Let's talk about Kandi's position on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I never looked at it that way, but I have to say you may be onto something, because when you are at the top of your career and there's so much more for you to do, it may be time for you to go. So let's talk about my career in comparison, because I really want my audience to not take this as a shady soundbite, but to really look.
That's too late, Carlos. I done seen all the YouTube videos, honey, and they are saying you shaded the hell out of Kandi, okay? Their words, not mine, Carlos.
Look at it as a deeper meeting in terms of when to hold, when to fold, and when it's time to buy out gracefully, because there's other opportunities your way. I left the Real Housewives of Atlanta after season 9 because I knew for me that I did the best I could with that show, and I wanted to leave the party while the party was still exclusive.
That's
while
right.
it was still the hottest ticket in town. And I knew as Carlos King, if I'm able to take the pedigree of telling people, hey, I left after season 9. Wait, you mean that season that was highly rated, of the 4-part reunion where this happened, that happened? I knew if I could take my legacy and translate it into my career goals of owning my production company, being an on-air talent, I couldn't have done any of these things if I was still a part of that show.
No, you couldn't have.
I could not have.
No.
To your point, I look at Kandi. Kandi has so much more to do in this industry. Unlike Marlo, I don't think Kandi is only Atlanta. I do think she's worldwide. We're talking about, Kate, a reality star that hosted Ellen DeGeneres' talk show while Ellen was gone for a couple of days. That's huge. We're talking about somebody who was on Big Brother before any other housewife was on that particular celebrity edition. Kandi has so much more in store, and I never thought I would say this, Kate. I agree with you that this should be Kandi's last season only because I think there's so much more for Kandi to do that I don't think Kandi is going to be able to truly capture this legacy that's waiting for her as long as she's on this show.
Also, I think everybody can relate to this. I had a job that I was excellent at. I did media consulting for law firms. I was excellent at it, but at some point, I wanted to do other things, and by continuing to have that job, it held me back, not just in time, but in your emotional capacity to really be good at something else. And I think it's great the way that they've highlighted how much she does in entertainment, not just in front of the camera, but behind the scenes. Like, they talked about her Broadway production and the meaning behind it and giving voice to Black men. If you think about her, not the time that it takes for her to film this show, if you eliminate that, all of the other things that she can do within business and entertainment that are going to far surpass her being on just this show.
And one thing we know about Kandi, she doesn't need the money.
No.
She's very wealthy. So the money should not be a factor in her decision to stay.
Like, she could start a network. That's what I'm saying. Like, I could see her somebody running a network.
I could not agree with you more, Kate. There's so much more in store for Kandi to achieve.
And I really think that Kandi and Todd, especially since Todd has the production experience, I think that maybe they should start their own reality show, not necessarily with their family. You know, I hear people want, the old lady gang to come back, which was an okay show. It was cool. But I think they should get some women in Atlanta, something loosely based off of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I think Kandi has the connection. She is Atlanta. Okay, I think if her and Todd do something like that, I think that it would be successful. I really do. So, yeah, it's time for Kandi to go in a different direction. And you always want to leave a job, you guys, on top, when stuff is good, not, oh, damn, it's a sinking ship. And now this season has been a lot better than last season, but honey, if I was Kandi, I would leave. I would be done with this, because it's just gonna get uglier, and she gonna be on here doing that broke up cry. Honey, we don't need that. Okay, we don't need Kandi, getting all emotional about stuff.
And as someone who left that machine and look at my life now, I'm the happiest I've been. I've accomplished so much. I have so much more to accomplish. I would like for Kandi's team, like you suggested, Kate, to look at her and say, let's leave while you're still hot. And let's get you a talk show. Let's get you your own streaming network. Right. Let you and Todd build this empire. Let's move you to New York for 2 months to create a stage play on Broadway. Let's have you star in more films and movies that you've been doing, but as a supporting character, only because your schedule as a full-time housewife is so demanding.
But I also think that every housewife, let's say I'm their agent, you have to sit down and say every year to this cast member, does this represent you anymore? How can this move the needle? What is the end goal? And if this is your only goal is to exist in this space, you shouldn't be on the show anymore, because you're going to lose sense of who you are and what your value system is. And you and I have seen that happen before.
Mm-hmm.
And also, once you leave, you're going to be completely lost. And we've seen this time and time again. So you have to have those conversations every year with somebody.
No, and one thing I know about you, you remind me of Dave Quinn in the sense of you're like the ghost producer of Housewives.
I know. And I never get credit for it.
And you never get the credit for it. So we just talked about how you have to know as a housewife when it's time for you to leave the nest. And sometimes a lot of housewives stay because they don't have any identity outside of that franchise. And one thing I know about you, Kate, you live in the OC. You are friends with almost, if not all, some majority of the past and present cast members of the Real Housewives of OC. I listened to your conversation with Bronwyn. Because of your interview with Bronwyn, I created a show based upon people who aren't capable of separating their reality from other real things. I'm not going to give too much away, guys.
All right, you guys, that's all I got to say about all of this. Get down in my comments. Let me know what you thought about this here video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.